The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 268,455. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 6,515. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 1,432, with total confirmed deaths at 70. We expect the Torrance numbers to increase as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Trutanich. It's 4 p.m. on Monday, September 28th. Los Angeles County continues to see a decline in the number of people hospitalized with serious cases of COVID-19. Less than 700 patients were reported on Sunday, a huge drop since the summer when there were 3 times as many people. The daily COVID-19 hospitalization rate is now at levels not seen since the beginning of the pandemic. The county's public health director, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, says she's grateful that so many people are doing their part to protect their fellow neighbors, workers, and family members. She adds that the latest data is being considered as county officials determine future reopenings. Meanwhile, state officials are warning Californians of another surge in hospitalization rates. Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mark Galley says they're concerned about how the flu season may impact hospitals. Public health officials urge everyone to continue staying vigilant by avoiding crowded places, staying away from those who are not in your household, wearing a proper face covering, and maintaining social distancing. A new fire in Napa County forced evacuations and widespread power outages over the weekend. As of today, the Glass Fire has burned 11,000 acres and is 0% contained. CAL FIRE reports that 2 additional fires overnight merged with the Glass Fire and has been spreading at a dangerous rate. It also expanded into Sonoma County. Multiple evacuation orders are in place across both Napa and Sonoma counties. Among those who face mandatory evacuations are a number of prestigious wineries that make up the wine region. A hospital in the area suspended operations and evacuated its patients. Strike teams that included both air and ground ambulances transported 55 patients to other area hospitals. Red flag warnings are in effect for much of Northern California, leading Pacific Gas and Electric to cut power to 65,000 customers. The power outages affect parts of 16 counties, including Napa as well as Butte, where the North Complex fire has scorched more than 306,000 acres and caused 15 deaths. That fire has been active for 40 days and at last check is 78% contained. Power in those areas may be restored as weather permits by this evening. Napa County partnered with the American Red Cross to open a COVID-compliant evacuation center in Napa. Those who have been displaced by the fire can check in at Crosswalk Community Church, where they can be placed in area hotels. Here in LA County, a red flag warning is in effect until 5 p.m. this afternoon. The National Weather Service says critical fire weather conditions are anticipated with wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour. The red flag warning also covers the region where the Bobcat fire is burning in the mountains of LA County. So far, that fire has scorched more than 114,000 acres and is 62% contained. LA County fire officials say the Santa Ana winds came into the burn area overnight, and strike teams of dozens of firefighters are on site in case of any fire growth. Crews hope to fully contain that fire over the next couple of days, but say the most destructive fires typically burn through November. A heat wave is also expected to return this week in Southern California, with temperatures up to 106 degrees predicted on Wednesday. Cal State Long Beach is on lockdown after seeing an outbreak of COVID-19 cases. This news comes just weeks after fall classes began, with a reduced number of students at residence halls and at classes on campus. University President Jane Close Connolly says they became aware of a number of students who have not followed COVID-19 precautions while off campus, and 5 of them have tested positive. 4 of the students live on campus in the residence halls. As a result, all on-campus residents are now under quarantine and will be tested by the Long Beach Department of Health and Human Services. In-person classes are also canceled for the next 2 weeks. School officials will be cleaning and disinfecting facilities as needed. They'll also engage in contact tracing and investigate related student conduct issues. 1/3 of American parents don't plan to vaccinate their kids for the flu season this year. That's according to the National Poll on Children's Health. The study also finds that 2/3 of parents don't believe that getting a flu shot for their child is more important this year. Health officials have been urging people to get their flu shots to prevent hospitals from getting overwhelmed. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said children younger than 5 years old, and especially those younger than 2, are at high risk of developing serious flu-related complications. They added that getting a flu shot during the pandemic for all ages is more important than ever. The nation's leading infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says individuals should get the vaccine now if available and no later than the end of October. Among parents who don't want to vaccinate their kids this year, 1 in 7 say they are keeping their child away from healthcare sites due to COVID concerns. 188 pediatric flu deaths were reported during the 2019 to 2020 flu season, but the CDC says the actual number is much higher since many flu-related deaths are not reported. LA County officials urged people to get vaccinated, saying the public health department is partnering with libraries to provide free flu shots. For more information, you can go to lacountylibrary.org/free-flu-shots. The popular app TikTok is still available to download in the U.S. A federal judge blocked President Donald Trump's ban yesterday, just hours before it would have taken effect. The White House wanted to remove TikTok from smartphone app stores, which would keep new users from downloading it and current users from installing updates. Judge Carl Nichols of the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia halted the ban, which was supposed to kick in at midnight on Sunday. The ruling allows the Chinese-owned app to operate until a full court hearing, for which a date has not yet been set. Judge Nichols also denied a request to extend a November 12th deadline for TikTok to spin off its U.S. operations to an American company or possibly disappear from the country. Lawyers for TikTok say about 100 million Americans use the short-form mobile video app, and shutting it down infringes on free speech and due process rights. TikTok officials say they'll continue defending their rights for the benefit of their community and employees. They also plan to continue talking with the federal government in an effort to reach an agreement. The legal battle between the Trump administration and TikTok began last month when President Trump signed an executive order invoking a national economic emergency, citing national security reasons. TikTok's lawyers said there was no credible evidence to back up the president's national security claims. With the coronavirus continuing to spread, millions of Americans are out of work and struggling to feed their families. Communities across the country are seeing longer lines at food pantries. Before the pandemic, the number of families who were experiencing food insecurity had been falling at a steady rate. But now new estimates show some of the worst rates of food insecurity in the U.S. in years. Almost 1 in 4 households have experienced food insecurity so far this year. Researchers at Northwestern University found that food insecurity more than doubled as a result of the economic crisis brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. And that includes millions of more children than before non-pandemic times. The Torrance Unified School District has provided free meals throughout these difficult times, and starting this month, free weekend and holiday meals will be included in Thursday's bulk meal pickup. The school district also serves bulk meals for free on Mondays, as well as at most school sites. For more information and to apply for the meal program, you can visit family.titankk12.com. More than 400 students in LA County are receiving free backpacks filled with back-to-school essentials today. The county's 5th District Supervisor, Catherine Barger, joined the Department of Public Social Services and its Toy Loan Program to give out the supplies to low-income students ages 5 through 17. It's a part of the department's annual backpack and school supply giveaway and helps the children of families who are receiving DPSS benefits. The students also received free books, shoes, and snacks from area businesses and nonprofits. Each backpack is filled with age-appropriate school supplies such as calculators, notebooks, and pencils. All items were placed into vehicles to allow participants to safely practice physical distancing. County officials say the financial impact of COVID-19 on the local economy makes this year's distribution more needed than ever. DPSS serves 3.5 million customers in LA County, making it the largest social services agency in the nation. Its toy loan program has been around since the Great Depression and allows low-income children to borrow toys much like checkout books from a public library. The program currently serves 30,000 children every month at 50 centers throughout the county. If you're dreaming of a vacation to Hawaii, Hawaiian Airlines wants to make it easier for you to do just that. The airline says it will offer pre-flight COVID-19 testing to passengers flying from LAX or SFO. There's a fee, $90 to $150 per test. The airline will show the fresh negative results to island authorities, allowing the passengers to skip the 14-day mandatory quarantine. Hawaii plans to ease its pandemic rules starting on October 15th, but you still have to show negative results from an approved COVID test within 72 hours of departure. This news follows United Airlines' announcement last week when they unveiled a similar plan for passengers flying to Hawaii from San Francisco. Like its competitors, Hawaiian Airlines has made numerous adjustments to ensure the safety of flying during COVID-19. For more information, you can log on to hawaiianairlines.com/coronavirus. We now have more time to fill out the 2020 census. A federal judge in California ordered the census count to continue through the end of October, extending its deadline by a month. U.S. District Judge Lucy Koh issued the preliminary injunction last Thursday, saying a shortened schedule would likely produce inaccurate results for hard-to-count communities. The census is used to determine how $1.5 trillion in federal spending is distributed each year and how many congressional seats each state gets. Attorneys for the Census Bureau had argued that the census needs to be done by the end of September in order to meet the December 31st deadline and have enough time to figure out how many congressional seats each state gets. But Judge Koh said that argument runs counter to the facts, shows that the Bureau could not meet the statutory deadline, and that the Bureau had received pressure from the Commerce Department to cease seeking an extension of the deadline. Koh's injunction gives Census Bureau workers time to calculate the numbers for the congressional seat allotment from the beginning of November until the end of next April. In an afternoon briefing today, Governor Gavin Newsom added that California could lose $10,000 per person that goes unaccounted. He reminded them that they only have to answer 9 easy questions that are safe and confidential. To fill out the census, just log on to 2020census.gov. The city of Torrance was named one of the safest cities in California. Independent review site safety.com ranked Torrance number 12 this year after carefully reviewing and compiling data from cities all across the state. The study finds that Torrance consistently has a low crime rate and is regularly known as one of the safest cities statewide. It also mentions the city's presence of popular local breweries such as the George Lopez Brewing Company and Red Car Brewery and Restaurant. Torrance scored a 77 out of 100 for public safety and 74 out of 100 for financial safety. Data analysts used comprehensive ranking factors that included public safety and financial security metrics to determine the city's overall safety. The Torrance Certified Farmers Market also received an accolade. It was voted Favorite Farmers Market by the Daily Breeze's 29th Annual Reader's Choice Awards. Farmers Market employees have been working hard to transform the twice-a-week open-air shopping area into a COVID-friendly destination. Located at Wilson Park, manager Joyce Chan says they expanded their 80,000 square foot space by another 15,000 square feet to follow social distancing protocols. Every vendor is now spaced 10 feet apart, and the market greets about 2,700 customers on Tuesdays and about 4,200 on Saturdays. Shoppers can meet about 100 vendors, including dozens of farmers who rely on these 2 days of business. Many of them have struggled to survive and say these customers play crucial roles in keeping their businesses open. Congratulations to the Torrance Certified Farmers Market for their accomplishment. And if you'd like to drop by, the next farmers market takes place tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The Torrance Police Department shared this picture of a hungry officer and many boxes of pizza. They wrote pepperoni, sausage, extra cheese, what's your favorite? Shout out to the local Torrance family who graciously provided a pizza lunch for our entire department this afternoon. The police department didn't say who the generous donor was, but it looks like our local heroes were well fed during their shift. What a great example of kindness and caring for their community and for others. Now, if you have a great story to share, be sure to email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. as Colleen Farrell brings you the latest updates. Stay safe, be healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.